The rain poured down in silver sheets that night, cold, relentless, and almost poetic. On the outskirts of the city, a sleek black car had slid off the road, its tires half buried in mud. Inside, Elena Torres, 32, CEO of a billion-dollar tech empire, sat trembling in pain. Her legs, the same legs that once carried her confidently through boardrooms and airports, had been paralyzed for 2 years. The storm grew heavier. Her phone battery flashed red. When the engine finally died, so did her last ounce of control. She leaned her head back, trying not to cry, until she saw the faint silhouette of someone walking toward her through the rain, tall, broad-shouldered, carrying a flashlight. Her heart raced. "Please, don't hurt me. I can't walk," she whispered, her voice shaking. The man stopped, his light lowering to the ground as if not to scare her. "Hey, it's okay. I'm not here to hurt you. My name's Daniel Cruz. I live down that road. I saw your car go off." His voice was calm, steady, the kind that made her chest loosen, just a little. He reached for the handle. "May I open the door?" She hesitated, then nodded. Cold air rushed in as Daniel helped her out of the car with surprising gentleness. "You're freezing," he said softly, wrapping his jacket around her shoulders. "Let's get you somewhere warm." Within minutes, he carried her, literally lifted her from the seat, and started walking through the storm. Each step was slow but sure, his grip firm and protective. She could feel his heartbeat through his soaked shirt. When they reached a small wooden cabin, he pushed the door open with his shoulder. A young girl peeked from behind the sofa, Emma, his 7-year-old daughter. "Daddy, who's that?" "Someone who needs help," Daniel said, placing Elena gently on the couch. "Can you bring a blanket?" Emma nodded and ran off. Elena looked around. The place was modest, warm firelight flickering, children's drawings on the wall, a half-finished puzzle on the table. So different from her glass and steel apartment in the city. Daniel knelt beside her. "Any pain?" "Just my pride," she murmured, trying to smile. He chuckled. "I've treated worse." He brought her hot tea and checked her car keys. "Looks like the road washed out. You'll have to stay until morning." She nodded quietly, exhaustion washing over her. As she drifted to sleep, she heard Emma whisper to her father, "She looks like a princess, Daddy." Daniel smiled softly. "Maybe, but even princesses need help sometimes." By morning, the rain had stopped. Sunlight filtered through the trees, and for the first time in years, Elena woke up without the hum of machines or the buzz of business meetings. Instead, she smelled pancakes. "Morning," Daniel said, flipping one in the pan. "You're a deep sleeper." She blushed faintly. "Haven't slept that well in a long time." Emma handed her a small cup. "I made the syrup warm." Elena's heart melted. "Thank you, sweetheart." Over breakfast, she learned Daniel had been a mechanic before the factory closed. His wife had died when Emma was a baby. Since then, he'd been doing odd jobs, repairing tractors, helping neighbors, raising his daughter alone. Elena studied him. The lines on his face weren't from age, they were from endurance. "You do all this on your own?" she asked softly. He shrugged. "Someone has to. Life doesn't wait for perfect conditions." She smiled sadly. "You sound like a CEO." He laughed. "Nah, CEOs sit in offices. I fix carburetors." But she looked deeper, into the quiet strength behind his words, and realized he led his life with more integrity than most people she'd ever known. Her car was still stuck, so she stayed another night. They talked by the fire, about music, mistakes, what they missed. For the first time, Elena told someone the truth. "The accident," she said quietly. "It wasn't just random. I caused it. I was rushing to a meeting, arguing on the phone. I didn't even see the truck coming. I lost control. I lost everything." Daniel listened in silence. No judgment, no pity. Just presence. When she finished, he said, "You didn't lose everything. You're still here. You're breathing. That means life's not done with you yet." Something in her broke, and healed, in the same breath. Days passed. Daniel fixed her car but didn't rush her to leave. She helped Emma with reading, shared stories about the city, and even cooked one night, badly, but with laughter. Then one afternoon, while Emma was outside, Elena's phone rang. It was her assistant. "Ma'am, the board needs you back. Investors are panicking. They say you've disappeared." Elena looked out the window, Daniel teaching Emma how to ride her bike, his hand steady on the back wheel. "I didn't disappear," she said softly. "I just found something real." That evening, she told Daniel she had to go. His face fell slightly, though he tried to hide it. I figured you would, he said. People like you belong to bigger worlds. She shook her head. You're wrong. The world I belong to doesn't feel like home anymore. He turned away, pretending to check the fire. You'll define out there. You're strong. So are you, she whispered. Before leaving, she handed him an envelope. For the repairs, and for everything else. He opened it after she drove away. Inside wasn't money, it was a letter. You once told me life doesn't wait for perfect conditions. Maybe you were right, maybe it waits for the right person. Thank you for saving me, not just from the storm, but from myself. 2 months later, Daniel was fixing a car when a black SUV pulled up. The door opened, and there she was. Elena, radiant, in a simple dress, smiling shyly. Couldn't stay away, he said, trying not to grin. She walked closer. You were right, life's not done with me yet. But I don't want to live it alone. Emma ran out, screaming in joy. You came back. Elena knelt and hugged her tightly. I promised I would. When she stood, Daniel reached out his hand. She took it, trembling slightly. Welcome home, he said softly. And for the first time since her accident, Elena felt her heart, not her legs, carry her forward. That night, they sat under the stars, a small fire crackling nearby. No titles, no boardrooms, no fears. Just 3 souls who had found each other in the storm, and learned that love doesn't fix everything, it simply makes everything worth facing. Because sometimes, the person who carries you out of the rain isn't a hero. He's just a man brave enough to stay.